Hello, in today's video we're going to be sticking with the Ecpe exam, and we're going to be dealing with the writing, and in particular we're going to be discussing the kind of essays that could appear in the Ecpe exam. So obviously this will be very useful for you if you're just about to take your Ecpe exam and maybe you're a little bit concerned about the writing. So let's have a look, shall we, about the facts. First of all, someone asked me, can you do a video on the topics that come up in the Ecpe? And the truth is, there are a wide range of topics. There's no way you can predict the topic. You just can't. There's too many of them. You can prepare writing on a wide variety of topics, though, and that's exactly what I would advise. Generally speaking, there are two types of essay. There is a discursive essay where you are asked to discuss a topic, or an argumentative essay where you're looking at both sides of something, and they will clearly kind of state this in the question. A discursive essay they could finish it with, like, to what extent do you agree, and an argumentative essay might be asking for your opinion, where you'll have to look at both sides. Now, the other kind of essay that they like having is the more philosophical or abstract essay, where they might be asking you about fashion, or how far is beauty in the eye of the beholder, or how much would luck help you be successful, something like this. And again, some students really love these essays. Personally, I'm not a fan of them. I don't like them, and the main reason for this is they're very interesting, don't get me wrong. These are by far the most interesting essays that they throw at you, but they take a lot of time to think of ideas and to organize and plan, whereas usually the other essays are a little bit more straightforward. If I had like an hour and a half or 2 hours to write the essay, I would definitely choose the more philosophical or abstract ones. But to be honest, this all depends on the student, and I have had students that love these essays and are very good at writing them. So what we're going to do is have a little look. According to Ecpe, there are several domains or areas that essays could be linked to. For example, these. The first domain is public and social, and these are by far the most popular kinds of essays. So you could have essays about restaurants, you could have essays about prisons. Particularly, they could be asking you what are the solutions to overcrowding in prisons and things like this. Unemployment is a popular one because it's a big issue nowadays. How far is the individual or the government responsible for unemployment is a very popular topic. Family life, especially parenting, they'll often say, is it the school or the parental role to educate or discipline children? Transport and transport networks are very popular. Beauty, as I said, I was talking about that before, more abstract. And they might ask you about piercings or tattoos and why people do these things. Music, fashion, image, the elderly, what is the solution to all, having all these elderly people in our society? What do elderly people need? What kind of support? Things like this. Success versus talent. This is a very popular one. I'm sure you've all written an essay on that. Is it all to do with talent, success, or is it, just being lucky? Yeah. Technology, about computers, mobile phones, the effects of television, anything like that. Parenting, as I mentioned earlier. Advertising, how much does advertising affect us or children? Should it be controlled? These types of things. Television, the effects of television on adults and children. Charities, travel is a popular one as well, especially should they limit the amount of air travel, these types of things. And of course culture, especially when people move to another country, should they adopt the cultures of the new country or not? So the other big domain is occupation, and that means things, essays linked with work. You know, how important is the work environment, or salary perhaps, work enjoyment versus salary, offices and professional athletes, linked to sport. Should they get paid large sums of money or not? Education, very popular topic here. So university, wow, they love talking about university. And here you're really dealing with, what kind of subjects, how should people choose their university courses, pretty much anything, or perhaps funding for going to university. Should the government pay, or should individuals pay for their own university? All of these are popular topics. Sports, about competitiveness, should they be compulsory at schools? Necessary subjects, very popular topic. Which subjects like art, history, should they be taught in a curriculum? Should they not? Which subjects should be given all the emphasis? Very popular. Curriculums, same type of thing. And computer literacy. Again, is it essential nowadays to be able to use computers, and the effects of using computers on us? So as you can see here, there are a huge amount of topics. Generally what I would advise you to do is have a look at some of these things and some of the things I've said, and if you can't, or you've never written an essay on this topic, then maybe you should practice or try and find some model answers. So again, the only thing you can really do is practice on a wide variety of topics. And I would say especially on topics, if you ever see a topic and you're like, whoa, I could never write an essay on that. Well, that's the essay you've got to write. Because trust me, there's nothing worse than saying, oh, I hate essays on the environment, I really hate them. And then you open your, turn your paper over and you're like, oh, the environment. Because that's just eliminated one of your options. And let's face it, we're all guilty of it. It's just laziness that we can't be bothered, learning some vocabulary and reading some essays on the topic. Because if you do this, you'll be able to cope with it perfectly well. If there are any topics like genetic engineering, I don't think it'll come up in the exam, but it could. You never know. Genetically modified foods, things like this, they're a little bit complicated, that can rear their head. I highly recommend you check out this www.buzzle.com. It's a very, very good site that has a wide range of articles. A lot of the time they're talking about like the advantages and disadvantages of genetic engineering, and the vocabulary and everything they use is perfect for an ECP level, and it'll give you lots of ideas and things to think about. Also, of course, look through your ECP test books, of your two choices, and think about which essay you would prefer to do. And I would advise, trying to research them and write essays on both topics. And again, especially on those topics that you're like, I could never write an essay on that. Well, that's the essay you've got to write, just in case it rears its head in the exam. Okay, so good luck in your exams, guys. I hope you get the writing question that you are looking for, and that my students are looking for, as always. And of course, if you're looking for any more writing tips, we have lots of writing videos, especially for the ECPE, and there's another essay writing tips where I guide you through things that you should be doing, you shouldn't be doing, and generally giving you tips to help you. Alright, bye for now.